Hey, it's a great day. It's Mark Imperial. Another episode of the show where we're spotlighting noteworthy professionals in the Chicagoland area and most importantly, in your town. My first guest here in the hot seat joining me in the studio is Christina Andino. She's a broker with Berkshire Hathaway Koenig Rubloff Realty Group.
You got it.
Christina, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That was a tongue twister, and you tested me on that one. So, Christina, tell me a little bit about your work, where you're based out of, and the type of folks that you help.
Okay, well, I'm based out of Hinsdale. I live in the Hinsdale-LaGrange area. So I work with people in that area and also going south towards the Lamont and Lockport area also, even into Orland. So I do a lot of work with sellers. I do a lot of work with buyers, specifically first-time home buyers, people moving up. I have a lot of older people, seniors right now, very popular downsizing.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, yep.
So tell me a little bit about, for sellers that you work with, what's the market like these days? What are they seeing?
Well, the market is very good for sellers right now. I can tell you that. We still have a short inventory. Priced right, good location, you're going to do really good. It's going to sell fast in the majority of areas. So it's looking good. It's looking like this is going to be a really good year this year. So
yeah, I've been hearing it seems like the trend across the Chicagoland area is low inventory. So that's So now and then there's a demand.
Yes.
So how about the buyers today? I've heard that some people are a little more hesitant, or they don't pull the trigger as quickly. What have you seen out there?
I have to say, even starting off in this year, it's been the buyers are like, bam, out of the starting gate this year. So,
is that right?
And I think a lot of it is the interest rates are still historically low, and they know that the spring competition's coming. So, they want to get in there, and I think this spring is really going to be crazy for the buyers. A lot of multiple offers, and it's going to be a lot like last year, I think.
I'd imagine it sounds a little bit about linked to your market as well, because you're in Hinsdale and more affluent communities out south, obviously. So I understand that the buyer today that's more of like the millennial age, whatever market they're in buying, they're the ones that are more reluctant and more hesitant. So are you working with a more mover-up client, a more affluent, older client?
Well, my clients are kind of all over the board. So you do have the millennials. They're getting out there a little bit more now because we have a little bit more in the way of help for them in terms of down payments and closing cost help. There's a lot of programs from state of Illinois for people that qualify. The FHA loans are super popular now because they don't have to put as much money down. They can save some of that for things that come along, and so, yeah, I mean, it's, and then, you have the affluent, a lot of them are they move around a lot more, and, those properties, though, those don't go at quite the same rate as the mid to lower range homes. So, it's a little bit slower market, mid-range, a little faster, things move, so.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the communities you serve. So you're like Hinsdale, for example. What's that market been like for you today, and the type of buyers that are looking for homes there?
Well, the Hinsdale and LaGrange area, obviously the more affluent. So, you have people that change a lot for the jobs, a lot of relocations and that kind of thing. And I mean, but it's good. It's still a good market. It takes a little bit longer, sure, but it's cranking along like the others. So
yeah, I haven't been in that area in a while because I'm from Downers Grove originally. So I was wondering, are you seeing a lot of new construction, or what does that look like?
Yes, the new construction it's definitely coming back. It's been a little slow, but it's getting there. It's getting there again. Yeah.
What kind of tips would you give for a seller these days to get their home presented properly and sold at the right price in today's market?
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be talk to a realtor for sure, because we're going to be able to give a lot of good advice and just walk you through it and help you find the right people to get the home ready and, have it looking its best and have it priced right and have the right people, attracting the right people to it. And, our company, Berkshire Hathaway, is wonderful with, outreach. We're all over the world, all over Europe, China. We have our own MLS type thing in China. So, we're pulling from all over. So, you want a good realtor who's got that reach.
What are some of the things that a realtor can help a seller or a buyer with that they can't do themselves online?
Well, you know what? When you're in this business, you have such a network that you build over time. You know where the right people are for the specific types of properties. So you know where to go and where to market to the most heavily. And then a lot of it negotiating. I mean, we're getting in there and doing all that so the clients don't have to do that kind of stuff. Doing the work, showing them how to get everything done. I mean, these aren't things that they're just going to know offhand themselves, I mean, it makes the difference in how quickly it happens and how much you're getting. So it makes a big difference there. Yeah.
Have you seen any, big glaring mistakes that are common that sellers might make today that you could warn people about?
Besides for sale by owners.
Yeah, tell us about that. What are kind of the tricks and traps that they might fall into with that?
A lot of it is pricing. People they pick a number and that's what they want, but that's not how it works. And so, you have to find a way to convey that how this all works. And that it can be a little tricky. It's a little touchy. But that's a big trap that people fall into is just the pricing. They just want what they want, but that isn't how it works. So, that's what we're there to help with.
Yeah, and you pull comps, right? So,
absolutely.
Like if people were trying to do that on their own online, is it accurate, the information they find versus what you have access to?
No. And definitely not. Zillow is a popular one, the Zestimates and all this kind of stuff. And no, because that's not, they're not taking into account a lot of details and things like, what does the inside of the home look like? Is it upgraded? Is it a dump? They're not looking at any of that stuff. That can mean the difference in thousands and thousands of dollars. So
upgrades and that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not localized enough.
Right.
Gotcha. So Christina, how did you get started in real estate? Tell us a little bit of your story. What was your inspiration?
Well, I got into real estate because I guess after my own real estate dealings, I was just fascinated with it. And I've been doing this probably going on about almost 6 years now. So, I got into it just for the love of, I was like, architecture and houses, but there's so much more to it. But it's a wonderful challenge. And I've just, stuck in there and grown and learned. And, every day is different. Like no two transactions are the same. It's fascinating, wonderful. Sometimes it's a little rough, but, what isn't? So.
Right on. How can our listeners, if they could use your help, if they're buying or selling a home, how do they find you? How do they get a hold of you?
Well, anywhere, you can just Google my name online. It's all the information's going to come up. But, I'm at the Berkshire Hathaway Koenig Rubloff Realty Group in Hinsdale. My phone number is 708-220-5082. And again, you can Google me online, Christina Andino, and you'll find all my contact information.
So, Christina, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you or any tips that you'd like to share, parting words for the audience?
Well, one thing I would like to say is, this is a good time to get in there. If you want to sell, it's a good time because you've got the upper hand. If you're a buyer, there's a lot of great programs out there right now to help you with closing costs and down payment. I've got wonderful lenders that are so good at counseling people and just helping you figure out what you can do and what you qualify for. So now's the time to do it. Now's the time to jump in, no matter who you are.
Fantastic. Christina, thanks so much for taking the time and sharing on the program today. I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thanks for having me. It's great being here.